definitely not going to be losing to the Baltimore Orioles.
Well,
I hope not.
Dude, you know what I did for the Baltimore Orioles? Is I wrote right here, who cares?
Welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Jays. I'm your host, Adam.
And I'm your host, Nick, and today we're going to be chatting about our predicts, what we think's going to happen, where we think the AL East is going to go, and who's going to fracking win it, man. Because I want to say that it's up in the air, but you know what? I think after this video, we're going to say it's not really that up in the air because there's one really good team, and I know our bias is thinking it's the Blue Jays, but it might not be the Blue Jays, and we might actually hate them. But you know what? We're going to talk about that today.
Yeah.
So, Adam, what do you think, dude?
Well,
who's elite?
Based on what you're saying, let's address the elephant in the room. It's the New York Yankees. I think any Blue Jays fan watching this knows that it's the New York Yankees, and it's always been the New York Yankees.
Yeah, dude, it's not even an elephant in the room. It's like a freaking, dinosaur.
Yeah, it's so apparent of just a money giant, an empire of just win. And that is always going to be our enemy. There's, almost never going to be a season where it's not the Yankees. It was the Yankees in 2015. It was the Yankees in 2016. It's going to be the Yankees whenever we decide to start pushing for that contention.
Well, the problem is that it's like at any given moment, a Garrett Cole comes along. And the Yankees, the Yankees go, you know what? We want the Garrett Cole. Well, okay, duh. So does literally every other MLB team. But the thing is, they're the New York Yankees, and they have all the money. And Garrett Cole somehow grew up literally absolutely loving the New York Yankees, as does a lot of other baseball players. So he just goes to the New York Yankees for an absurd amount of money and makes them infinitely better and so much more difficult to beat.
Right. Everyone goes to the Yankees. And you know what? If Yankees fans out there, you know what? It's we've connected with a few Yankees fans on our Instagram, but it's on a game level, we want to take you guys down.
Yeah,
we want to take you guys down.
Well, you know what? It's more or less, it's just the idea that it's it's easier. Well, I don't even want to say it's easier, but it's we're planting the seeds, man.
Yeah.
We're growing this crop. We're harvesting, and it's not harvest time yet. It's always harvest time for the New York Yankees, It's pick the pumpkin here and
the Yankees harvest with their wallets. They harvest throughout the league, where we have to have this small pool at 1 out of 30. And that's where we harvest, where they can harvest anywhere else. Anyways, enough about the Yankees.
Well, I want to know what you think they're going to go, dude, because let's face it. Let's talk about them right now. They have pretty elite everything. They have pretty elite everything. Their batters are elite. Their pitchers, obviously they lost Luis Severino, but they still have Garrett Cole. They still have James Paxton. I think they recently lost Tanaka, but it's the rotation is still way better than ours.
Yeah, their rotation last year really struggled to put up consistency, but it was their bats that honestly carried them throughout the year.
And that's why I think everyone's predicting these guys to be a top 2 team in baseball, because last year it's who did they have on pitcher? It wasn't Garrett Cole, and now they have Garrett Cole, and it's
and even they didn't have Stanton, they didn't have Aaron Judge, and they still raked. They had Gio Urshela, they had obviously Gleyber Torres, they had DJ LeMahieu, they had Gary Sanchez when he was healthy. They had a lot of people.
It's just guys were popping off left and right. I was actually looking up today. I was looking up the teams who had the most runs on average per game, and in 2019 it was the New York Yankees, and it was something like almost 6.
Oh God!
It was close to 6, very high 5.8 or something. And that's crazy.
Ridiculous. And the Yankees are stacked. The Yankees are stacked.
So
and
what's the number? What do you have?
So after going through all the series with every single team with this new schedule, I have the Yankees 41-19. which I think is pretty reasonable.
Right. No, I think that is like well within their striking distance. Like I have them going. Like, I literally had them, I did it a couple times over. I did a little mock, of going through. And it was anywhere between, like, 39 and 21 and, like, 42 and 18 is where I saw them. Like, they're going to finish somewhere in there is what I think. I just think that's a safe bet. Yeah. It's like, I see every series, and I'm like, oh, you're going to win that series. You're going to win that series. You're going to sweep those guys. Like, they're just so good.
And now let's talk about, like, the guys who are most likely going to try and take down the Yankees, and that is the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to say it's going to be us, but
we're just not ready yet. Just not ready. Like, we can all do a reality check and just see that we're just not there yet. We're on our way, but just not there yet.
Well, here's the thing, man. It's like, I remember entering, like thinking about this, the Tampa Bay Rays. Like, their bats, in my opinion, they don't have the most elite bats ever. They do have some proven guys. Like Austin Meadows looks like he's going to be a very good elite player. Like G-Man Choi is consistent.
Like Brendan Lau.
Yeah, Brendan Lau can definitely get on base. To me, it's the freaking pitching staff, bro. It's like you got Charlie Morton, you got Tyler Glasnow, and you got Blake Snell. Literally, like, that's, to me, it's like those are 3 extremely winnable games right there.
Yeah, like if you can guarantee 3 wins, like, you're good. You're basically contending.
When you match it up against our pitching staff, it's like, all right, we have Ryu. He can match one of those guys. All right, and then we fall off.
Yeah, like Chase Anderson and Tanner.
Yeah, they're not nearly at the level of Blake Snell or Tyler Glasnow, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I was looking at the Tampa Bay Rays. I have them going somewhere in the range of 35 and 25. Now, I was actually looking up, and it's interesting. The odds for Vegas right now, like, Vegas is pegging them at an over-under of 33.5. So that's like wins for this season.
I don't know many Vegas numbers. So what does that mean?
Basically, what it means is like
33.5 wins.
Yeah, like they're saying it's like you can either bet the over, which they'll get over that, or under, which is under that. But like they're saying like a very good number is 33.5. And
I'd bet the over because I have them 36 and 24.
Well, I was literally thinking about betting the over too. It's like I think that like 33.5. I believe paced out for a whole season would be somewhere in like the 90 to 92 win range. And they
absolutely.
I think that they're well within striking distance of that and even more. Just with that pitching staff, it's hard to smack off those guys.
Absolutely. And now the question is, this is the debate. And I know some of our audience members have debated whether the Boston Red Sox are still a contending team or not. And that's a team that the Blue Jays are going to have to face for that 3rd spot.
I look at the Boston Red Sox and I see a complete, like, it's literally like the complete opposite, in my opinion, of the Tampa Bay Rays. In the sense that they have, like, elite bats, Like, when you got Benintendi, and then you got Devers, and then you got Bogarts and JD Martinez, and even your catcher. It's just like their bats are exceptional.
And they traded for Verdugo. Like,
oh my god, I completely forgot about Verdugo.
And they have Kevin Pillar now.
Oh
thanks.
Yeah,
I love you, Kevin, but still.
Yeah, honestly, I really miss you.
We miss you, Kevin.
Come back.
Come back. We need outfield depth.
Like, think about that lineup.
Oh man.
And then when you look at their pitching staff, it's like, okay, they lost David Price. He was looking like he was regressing anyways. But then they also lost Chris Sale. So now
Tommy John.
All they have is Rodriguez. And, like, I love Rodriguez, but, he's only had one, like, big breakout season. Like, I don't think that we can, like, assure this guy as a sure thing as being an ace. Their pitching staff just doesn't match their bats.
Exactly. They're kind of in a way, they're kind of like a Yankees, but without that Yankee flair.
Yeah.
Like they're missing a lot of their pitchers, but they have the batting order. And what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to come third? They're going to beat the Jays?
Honestly, like I put them at, and I don't know, man. Like I put them at 38, 32 and 28.
32 and 28.
it's so difficult to say right now because we don't even know how this season's going to pan out. But I do definitely value a good batting order, I think, in these 60 games. Like, I don't know how dominant even the dominant pitchers are going to be necessarily because it takes a little while to get into the rhythm.
It's tough because, usually in spring training you got pitcher and catcher's report even before the batters even
and they're not getting that rapport right now.
No.
Like, they're not having that. And so I'm not sure. Like, I think that they're going to flirt with 500 and maybe do a little bit better than that.
See, I have them just under 500 at 29-31. I think that loss with Sale is going to really ding them. So I have just put them slightly under.
Yeah, and I understand that. It's like Sale is a big L for them. Like they're just. I feel like they are. Their team is so interesting, man, because it's like they came into last year and we were like, oh my god, like Boston Red Sox are going to be elite again.
They're the world champs.
They're going to be crazy. And then it's like. They were just hung over the whole season.
Yeah. There was questions of whether Sale was.
It was all about the pitching. It was all about the pitching.
pitching.
And I think like if I was the management right now of the Boston Red Sox, and I'm not, and I'm kind of happy that they're not doing this because then they'd be contending again. It's like I'd probably be taking one of these bats and flipping it for a exact for sure pitcher.
Yeah, I mean they kind of. I guess they kind of did something. Not with pitcher, but in terms of an outfielder and Alex Verdugo, like flipping.
Well, I love Alex Verdugo. Like, I think that he's gonna be like. I wish that we had Alex Verdugo. Like, Alex Verdugo looks great to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the total prospect that we need. But they're just missing the pitching, man. Like, that's all it is, in my opinion.
I agree. And now for our favorite team.
Yeah.
We are definitely not going to be losing to the Baltimore Orioles. Well, I hope not.
Dude, you know what I did for the Baltimore Orioles? Is I wrote right here, who cares? Because whatever, like these guys, like literally, they could go like 0-60.
Well, here's my thing. Like I did them last. Like I did the Blue Jays in New York, then Boston and Tampa Bay. In terms of series. And the last team, I was like, Baltimore, they'll get the rest. Like, they'll get my leftovers. And, before we hit the Blue Jays, like, we already talked about our Blue Jays record last game.
Yeah.
Baltimore, I said 16-44, and I think that's pretty accurate.
Dude, it's honestly, like, it could even be generous. Because, well, here's the thing.
Yeah, they have no one.
Like, okay, you want to know their 3 best players from last year? Villar.
Gone.
Trey Mancini. Cancer.
Hope you get better.
Yeah, literally. I really hope that he does. Great player. And Dylan Bundy.
Gone. Yeah.
Where are your guys? I don't even know anyone on their roster that well. Like,
all I know, really, they have Josh Means as a pitching prospect, but he's still so young, and like he barely did an impact last year. And I see their names on fantasy, but like honestly, they were waiver people.
Yeah, here's the thing: is like I see their names on fantasy, and then I go, "Oh, Baltimore, swipe away, like go away from this." Like
there's no production.
I pity you, Baltimore fans.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what that feels like. I can't imagine the sorrow that you are going through right now. Like,
it's horrible.
What jersey would you buy?
You got none. You got your Adam Jones jersey still from like 4 years ago. I don't even know when he left the team. 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
They had 3 like serviceable players.
Machado.
Oh, and
sorry guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. And they're all gone, and it's just like these guys are gonna lose. Like they're just gonna lose.
They're not even close. They're not even like you drafted. I forget the guy's name. He's the catcher, but you drafted that guy first overall. And it's like good job, but it's gonna be a while.
No, honestly, they're like years away. Like it.
You know what? I hope to see you, Baltimore, contending for the playoffs, taking down the Yankees in about 3 years.
Well, it'd be great if like when we're contending, then they're contending too. It's like a total flip reversal of this whole division. It's like Blue Jay, we're the Yankees, and like they're the Rays, and we're like going at each other and stuff. Like that'd be kind of cool to me.
It's kind of what happened like 5 years ago when we were contending. We were facing Baltimore on the wild card, and wow, New York wasn't even in the picture. Yeah. Oh, they were. We were.
Well, we're all on different timelines right now. And New York's timeline is obviously sped up more than all of ours.
Yeah,
but
New York's always going to be on top.
Yeah, and so it is what it is. But realistically, guys, like, it's a tough division. It's a really tough division, and that's why this year, and we talked about it in our last video, but it's going to be difficult for the Blue Jays to make a dent in this division when you have the Yankees, when you have the Tampa Bay Rays and their elite pitching staff, and then you have Boston and their crazy hitting lineup. Like, it's tough to get into that, you know?
But you know what? Anything could happen with 60 games. Like, literally, like 2 weeks of training, like, who knows what could happen? All that we know is that this season is going to be a season that we have never seen before, and we're very, very excited for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Rowdy Tellez hit a dinger today, and I never would have expected that, so...
That's a whole video in itself.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a video on Rowdy, but...
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what you guys think the rest of the division is going to do this year. And hope you guys subscribe and keep on watching because we have lots of content coming up soon.
Yeah, man. Check us out on Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcast, Anchor, Radio Public, all that stuff. And also check out our Instagram. That thing is popping off. And like literally skyrocketing on the followers, and we're always posting.
We're almost at 500.
Yeah, exactly. So check that thing out. Subscribe to YouTube. Thank you very much.
Go Jays, go.